Hey guys, what is up? It is Icredd here, and today I'm going to be explaining crowd control in anime Vanguards. There are currently 11 different types of crowd control in anime Vanguards in this order: infinite spin, alter slow, slow, stun, freeze, petrified, repulse, complete hypnosis, Mahokarada, time stop, and confuse. After reaching upgrade 9, Johnny's attacks will contribute to him entering a golden state, where once he reaches this golden state, he gets the ability Infinite Spin. This ability, upon activation, means that his next 5 attacks will inflict Infinite Spin upon the enemy. That's what Infinite Spin actually means. What it means is that the enemies simply walk backwards, ever so slightly. This is by far the weakest CC. The next crowd control effect is Saber Alters Slow. What this means is, whenever an enemy enters 70% of her range, or this purple circle, they are slowed by 20%. The next crowd control priority is Slow. This will be inflicted by Alligator. What he does is, on hit, he inflicts a 30% slow, and this has a 6-second cooldown, so you want to get his SBA down to 3 seconds. This can be achieved by a 25% SBA reduction. The next crowd control priority is Stun. This will be done primarily by Sasuke. What this means is it makes all enemies stop and unable to use any of their abilities while they are stunned. This has a 14-second cooldown, so you want to get Sasuke SBA reduced by 12% in order to achieve a perfect loop of stuns. The next crowd control in priority is Freeze. This can be done by a multitude of different characters, however Emmy is currently the best one in the game, where upon inflicting freeze, the status condition lasts for 12 seconds, so you want to get her down to a 6-second SBA. This can be done by reducing it by 14%, leading to a perfect loop. The next crowd control priority is Petrify, which can be unlocked from Medusa on upgrade 7. This ability will temporarily freeze all enemies within the circle AoE that you place. Now it should be noted that while the condition disappears, the actual cooldown is the exact same as the original one's cooldown ability. So this means that you can't just keep refreezing the 3 different Medusas, you have to wait for the original one to be done. Therefore, this isn't a very good crowd control. The next crowd control is Repulse. This pushes the enemies back on hit, and it can be done by a couple of different characters, however Inumaki is by far the best. Now, Repulse has a 25-second cooldown, therefore you want to reduce its SBA to 5 seconds to loop it perfectly, and to achieve this you need a 17% SBA reduction. The next crowd control priority is Complete Hypnosis, which can only be achieved by Aizen's ability, where upon losing a life stock by either an enemy reaching the end, Ichigo using his ability, or Sakura using her ability, all enemies on the field will walk backwards for 5 seconds. The next crowd control priority is done by Icredd with her ability Mahokarada. I don't know if I pronounced that right, I've definitely not, but upon activation of it, it freezes all enemies on the map for 10 seconds. Following on from that, the next crowd control is Time Stop. This can be done by either Diogo or Gojo, where upon using their abilities, all enemies in range are essentially the exact same as Frozen. And finally, the crowd control ability that has the highest priority is Diavolo's Complete Erasure, which causes the enemies to be confused, meaning for the entire duration of the ability, they walk backwards. This is by far the strongest form of crowd control for an infinite mode run. Just look how long that lasts. That is crazy strong. So you may be wondering what it actually means by CC priority. Well, there's 2 types of CC in the game now. There are ability CCs, and then there are the on-hit CCs. So for the on-hit CCs, such as Stun and Freeze, they actually prevent the other from happening. So before this update, you could use Sasuke here to stun, and then once that stun ends, you could use Emmy to freeze. But after the update, that's no longer possible. From now on, whenever one of these conditions are applied, there is a 10-second lockout from a different status effect occurring. What this means is now that if you can Sasuke stun a unit, you now can no longer use an ability such as Gojo's to freeze them because they're on that 10-second lockout, meaning that the whole freeze ability will be wasted. Some units, however, do override this lockout, such as Diogo's ability, where upon being stunned you can activate it, and it will be freezed. Another character who can ignore this is Isdef's ability, where after being stunned, they still are frozen for 10 seconds. So another ability that takes priority over this will be Aizen's walkback passive, where upon losing a life stock, all enemies walk back for 5 seconds. As you can see here, Sasuke will stun them, however upon losing a life stock, it still walks backwards, ignoring the stun. The final unit to be immune to this is Diavolo, whose ability, Complete Erasure, completely ignores this lockout, which you would expect from a Vanguard unit. Unlike Freeze and Stun, Slow doesn't have this lockout, so as you can see here, this unit will be stunned and can still be slowed. And it's the exact same for Freeze, where you can be frozen and then slowed. Another CC that now gets locked out is Repulse, so upon being stunned or frozen, an enemy is now immune to being repulsed. This means that the best CC to bring on any run will be Freeze, because Slow and Repulse both have longer cooldown times. And with that is every single form of crowd control and anime Vanguards, telling you how to perfectly loop any of the ones that are perfectly loopable, as well as the different priority system explained that has been added into the game. If you all enjoyed, please be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.